Hey guys, it's Legitimate and welcome back to another video. This is not an episode of the Let's Play. This is a completely different video. So in today's video, we're going to be back in another episode of a new series. This is going to be known as the Call of War Mechanic Guide series. I'm going to be explaining different Call of War mechanics, how they work, for example, attacking, defending, morale, stuff like that. This is episode 1. Today we're going to be talking about morale. Morale is, in my opinion, the most underrated and underestimated mechanic in the game of Call of War. So I'm in one of my games. This is the North Brazilian 100-player Let's Play series, but I'm not gonna be explaining the game. Instead, I'm gonna be explaining about morale. So, morale is super important because it factors everything. It factors your production time, it factors your resource production, and it also factors your territorial gains. So, like, for example, so first off, a province can revolt. So what is a revolt exactly? Well, a revolt happens when you are in high quality mode, which I am right now in, and the morale is 30% or below. So as you can see, it's glowing red. Why is it glowing red? Well, the game is warning you that these provinces can revolt. What does a revolt look like? Pretty simple. A revolt basically means that the province is a different nation's. For example, over here we have a lot of border war. Saskatchewan didn't take these provinces, it revolted to him, and as you can see, there's provinces here that are mine, they revolted to me. Same thing over here, border war. This was like 25% morale, they didn't like East Brazil, so they revolted to me. Now, who they revolt to actually does matter. If we go to diplomacy and if we click ourselves, we can see that I have an average morale of 84%. Whereas, if we go to Saudi Arabia, they have an average morale of 92%. Or, even worse, Equatorial Gabon, 68%. If a province, let's say Upper Voltan province wants to revolt, who will they revolt to? Well, most likely they will revolt to Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is the highest morale. But if this province was Maiduguri here, it's most likely going to revolt to me, because Saudi Arabia is too far. So they do choose who they revolt to. How do you know they're gonna revolt? Now, if you go on PC, you can see this little info button on the bottom left of your province tab. Click on it, and you will have all these mumbo jumbo information. These mumbo jumbo information are really important. First off, you have morale, pretty obvious. Morale trend. It tells you what will happen at day change. Will the morale rise or will it decrease? Garrison strength. I'll explain that in a little bit. But chance of an uprising. This tells you the chance of it revolting. The lower your morale, the higher the chance. Now, at 25% morale, which is the morale you get when you capture a new province, no matter whose it is, except if it's your core, it's going to be a 25% morale. And therefore, the chance of an uprising is 19%. The distance to the capital is 2.2 days. Neighbors, enemy neighbors, expansion. These are all called morale trends. Morale trends are morale factors. Morale factors are basically the factors that either increase, decrease, or stabilize the morale. So, here are a couple of examples. If we go to our capital here, we see that we have a garrison strength of 132.2. What is garrison strength? Garrison strength means the strength of the units on this province dot. For example, we see this province over here has this massive stack, but the garrison strength is we can't see it actually, because it's not our province. But if we go over here, even though this motorized infantry is in this province, it has a garrison strength of 0 because it's not on the dot. It has to be on the dot. In this case, we have a garrison strength of 132.2. This is basically the game's evaluation of the strength of this army. So when you look at the newspaper and you see mightiest armies, they calculate this through your entire army's garrison strength. There's a lot of factors in garrison strength: your unit's health, your unit speed, and your unit damage. All of those are factors on your garrison strength. For example, over here, let's see. It has to be my own. We're gonna look at, let's look at this garrison strength, 0, because air units don't have a garrison strength. I need a good example. Let's see. Do I have any units? Let me go on a different world. Oh yes, good idea. I've got this game. So in this game, I'm playing as America, and as you can see, there are different garrison strength. Here we have a massive stack. Very, very powerful. Garrison strength, 301.7. Over here, we have another stack. Just a single light tank. A single level 2 allied light tank in a city has a garrison strength of 6.5. Now, here's where things get complicated. At 19%, you need a garrison strength of at least 10 to block it. I'm pretty sure it's 10. So, a single light tank is not going to be enough, unfortunately. It's only 6.5. But if we have a lot of infantry, like here, it should be enough. Yeah, 222.7. Garrison strength can basically stop a revolt. But the lower the morale, the higher chance of an uprising, the more garrison strength is required to stop it. Now we're going to talk about propaganda offices. Propaganda offices are exactly what they sound like. They help with propaganda. They can increase the morale by these percentages at this level. At level 1, it's 10%, level 2, 23, and level 3, 40. Now we're going to be talking about morale trends. What is a morale trend? Let's go to our capital. Here are the factors. Neighbors, plus 3. Expansion, minus 16. Propaganda office, plus 23. And capital, plus 10. Neighbors. Neighbors is basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. What is the neighboring morale? What is the morale of the neighboring provinces? That's what neighbor basically is. These neighbors don't have any propaganda offices, so they have pretty low morale. As you can see, the morale trend is not rising or falling, it's stable. It has plus 8 and minus 16. Let's do the math. 16 minus 8 is 8. That means it should be negative 8. Because it's negative 16 plus 8. That's negative 8. And 100 minus 8 is actually 92. But it's not. Because the morale is actually 102. Yeah, I don't know how to explain this. But basically the morale is 102. What you have to do is you have to minus or plus through 102. A little bit complicated. Let's do it like this. So let's go to Munich. Here, over here. Minus 30, minus 1, minus 16, plus 23. Do the math. Are you done doing the math? That's right. It has a negative 24 morale. But it's not going to be 100 minus 24. It's going to be 102 minus 24. And that would be minus 22. AKA, it would also be 78% morale. This should be 78%. That is why it says morale trend falling. Because this should be 78. Once this reaches 78, morale trend will be stable. If it's lower than 78, morale trend will be rising. Get it? Higher propaganda offices mean better. Mean higher morale bonuses. Here it's 23%. If we upgrade it again, it'll be at 40%. And if it is 40%, then it should actually be 100%. No, it will not. It will be at 95% maximum. So let's look at the factors that factor morale. First off, we have neighbors. Neighbors, really simple, neighboring morale. If your neighboring morale is really low, then your morale is really low. Second off, propaganda offices. I build a lot of propaganda offices. A lot of them. Here we have level 2. If we go here, I have a lot of propaganda offices. Because propaganda offices are really, really important. They uphold my morale. And upholding morale basically means really strong economy. If you look here, I have a really strong economy, even though I have a massive army. Second off, we have expansion. Expansion is how big you are. The bigger you are, the bigger expansion penalty you have. Right now, playing as America, I have a total of 990 points. They don't care about points. They care about how many provinces you have. Well, I actually have a lot of provinces. So my expansion penalty is 16. Minus 16. Doesn't matter where you are, it's going to be minus 16. Yep. See? Right here. Second factor, probably the most annoying factor, is distance to capital. The further you are from the capital, the worse your morale factor is. If you are at the capital, it's a plus 10. But if you're really far away, it's a really big disappointment. So for here, let's go to Chicago. It is approximately 0.3 days away. I don't know how they calculate the time, but apparently this is 0.3 days away, and therefore it's a minus 2. If we go to Anchorage, it's a lot farther from the capital, and therefore it's minus 21, because it's 2.2 days away from the capital. Therefore, it's minus 21 morale. Over here, if we go to Philippines and go to Manila, it's a minus 30 morale, because it's so far. Distance to capital, maximum capped at 30. Even though it's 4.4 days away, so it should be minus 44, it's going to cap at minus 30. Even if we go to the farthest city I have, Muscat, it's still going to cap at -30. After distance to capital, the second most annoying thing in the game right now, in terms of morale trend, is definitely going to be expansion. But at the same time, you could also increase and decrease morale through other types of ways. Propaganda offices, capitals, and to decrease them instantly, you can use strategic bombers, nukes, and rockets. These are the best way to decrease morale instantly and increase morale as soon as possible. So a lot of people don't realize the importance of propaganda offices. They uphold your morale. Higher morale, more resource. If I have an average morale of say 100, I'd be making at least 3,000 per hour. That's how powerful morale is. Trust me, it is way too underestimated. Having strong morale in an early game is really important. To get morale, you can also capture a province. Capturing a capital. Capturing a capital instantly increases all of your province's morale to plus 10%. So it would be 35% if it was a newly captured territory, and if it was 90%, then it would be instantly at 100%, which is really good. So moving away from this game, let's go back to this game, the North Brazilian game. Now that you guys know all about all these kind of stuff, I wanna just give you a few more examples here. Even in 100 players, I still build propaganda offices. Every single one of my cities right now have propaganda offices. Every single one. Actually, I lied. Let's do that very quickly. We are gonna build a bunch of propaganda offices by queuing it up. And we don't have enough food, but since we have a lot of stuff, actually. Oh, we do have enough food. We're just not building it because it's in the queue. Alright. Another thing that can affect morale is spies. Namely, economic sabotage. It brings down morale a lot. And it can help you revolt. Now that you know how morale works, I do expect to see more of you guys build propaganda offices. They are really important. As you can see, I want my core to be 100% at all times, so I always build propaganda offices. As you can see, if I didn't have propaganda offices, it would be barely making it. For example, if we go to Boa Vista, if we didn't have propaganda offices, it would be decreasing by... Actually, it would be stable at 100% because it's 102. Remember, it would not be 100. So right now we have, if we cancel that propaganda office, it would be +6, -6, -2. So it should be -2, but because this is counted at 102%, it will actually be 100% perfect, stabilized. If we go all the way up here, we can see that our morale here is stable. If we go to New York, we can see that it should be rising by a good amount. It should land at around 86% morale, which is really high already. So morale is really important. Higher morale means better economy, means pretty much faster production times. If we go to a place with lower morale, for example, let's go to West Falkland, we can see that there's a 4% penalty because we have 76. Penalty disappears at 80%. So for example, if we go to this province here, we're already at 80%, so there should be no penalty. If we go to a lower one, for example, a newly captured city, it'll have a 162% morale production and construction speed penalty. Now, a province can smoke, but not glow red. The difference? Glow red means it can revolt. Smoke means it's low morale. If it smokes but doesn't glow red, it cannot revolt. Like 0% chance. So that's it for morale. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be talking about more Call of War mechanics in a later video. I do recommend building propaganda offices. Maybe it doesn't help you with it helps a little bit in growing morale, but it doesn't help a lot in growing morale. It's mainly just for maintaining it. As you can see, I already have a massive expansion penalty of 6, which is actually really large. If I didn't have propaganda offices, these would probably start going down already. So it's really important that you do build propaganda offices. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.